Come on in the room. Come on, come on, come on. Come on in the building. Trip C's, what's up? Everybody probably at work. Catch the replay. But if you ain't and you need something to listen to, come on in the building. We switching gears today. Switching gears today. We're gonna make fun of Hassan. We're gonna pick on Hassan today. Cause this shit is crazy. No, that ain't it. We gotta find that video. Oh my God, bro. You need to cut this shit off. Come on in the building. Come on in the building. Let's get this thing started. Let's get it started in here. Shadow, what's up? We making fun of Hassan today. We might do a little bit of Young Pharaoh, but we mainly making fun of Hassan today. Y'all gotta see that man hairline. Funniest shit I ever seen in my life. You said Danny Masterson? Who's that? Who's Danny Masterson? Tripsies. Guilty. Is that the actor from from 70s Rock? That 70s show? Or whatever that show's called? Every time I try to click the link, it. There we go. Danny Masterson found guilty of 2 counts of rape. Holy sugar. Whoa. The jury in Danny Masterson's rape retrial today found the actor guilty. Oh, so that is the actor from that 70s show. And the majority of 3 counts against him. Ooh. After the verdicts were read out, the jury dismissed. Masterson was deemed a flight risk. These words are still small. Hold on. Can I make it bigger? There we go. Deemed a flight risk by Judge Charlene. I can't pronounce that. With a dazed look in his face, the actor was cuffed and taken into custody despite his pleas of his lawyers. The next hearing, the motions and matter has been scheduled for August 4th. That's the day before my birthday. A sentencing hearing has not yet been set. The 47-year-old actor is facing 30 years behind bars on 2 counts he was found guilty of. Damn. What happened? Who did he R-word? He charge was found today, Masterson said. Expressionless as the verdicts were read out. However, seated just a few feet away, his wife could be heard loudly crying. Hold on, let me make it big again. I'm zoomed out. Crying on and off in the courtroom. Other family and family members of the actors' legal teams were openly crying also. After Madison was taken away, family members like brother-in-law Billy Baldwin and friends stayed in the courtroom in an obvious state of shock. Damn. But what happened though? Like, I'm trying to find a spot where free until today on $3 million bail, Masterson was arrested in 2020 over alleged assault that occurred between 2001 and 2003 in his Hollywood home. Something that he's about to do 30 years for some shit that allegedly happened 20 years ago. Well, Bill Cosby going to jail for some shit that happened 40 and 50 years ago. Went to jail for that shit. And it's Hollywood Hunter face up to 45 years in a California state prison and found guilty on all 3 rape counts in first trial and this retrial. So this was a retrial. Holy. So, like, Trip Seeds, if you can come on, there you go.
More than one girl. Them just the 2 that they could.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like,
it's more than one of them, and they had like guaps of evidence. This all because like the lady had tried to report it before or some shit, and they brushed it off because he is a celebrity.
That's what I'm saying. Like what? Like, did she like report it back then?
I believe so, but like I said, it's more than one of them. It's more than the 2 that they just charged too.
Holy.
Right.
That's crazy. I never knew about this.
You ain't
why wasn't this? Yeah, why wasn't this all over the news? And
it has been.
Yeah, it was. No, not really, because if they want you to know about
it was all on the front page when he first got charged. But you got to think about it. 2020 is right after we came out of lockdown. All them court cases was going down, so it kind of
but think about it.
Cause like
look at all the other trials.
You don't know what Weinstein got. They done moved.
I know, but think about it. Look at all the other trials, like R. Kelly and everybody, and other.
He was right up there with them. They was talking about him when they was talking about Pill and Nasty Robert. I can't call him nothing else.
What I'm saying is,
hold on,
it was everywhere. It was everywhere. Social media,
It was
face,
everywhere. Danny Masterson just isn't as a catchable name as R. Kelly or Bill Cosby or Weinstein, for that matter.
True.
And look, Pimp C used to call him Nasty Robert.
Whoa.
R. Kelly. 17 told me that shit not holler. He said, yeah, every time his name came up, he did go Nasty Robert.
That's crazy.
They're like, man, come on. Oh, he done went and got him. Just let the hair go. You ain't even got no hairline no more. It's all the way pushed the fuck back.
But the crazy thing about it is, what he's trying to do is
he's
trying to make his fade look like mine. You see how mine faded in the front?
Yeah.
That's how he's trying to make his look. But he only got a patch of hair right here.
Patch to the right.
Yeah, and he like try to brush it down and make it look like that. That's what's so fucking funny. But that ain't even what I'm laughing at. Watch when he turn his head. Watch when he turn his head.
Cause look, it like a big ass part where your logo is up in the upper right. It like the corner of that logo pointing dead down. Like, look at that bald spot.
Mm-hmm. And they definitely dying out because I don't see nobody talking about him.
They got other shit to talk about now. Jaguar right in jail for 2, not in jail, mental institute for 2 years.
A mental institution.
Yeah, she just got committed. 2 years minimum.
Who committed it?
The folk. Who else?
No, I thought her husband might have did it.
Nah.
Didn't he move on to a new girlfriend?
She been going showing her ass at the police department and everywhere else. She had court cases, so they said your ass is crazy. 2 years.
Didn't he move on to get a new girlfriend or something like that?
Yeah, he been gone for like a month or so. But let me.
Were they legally married?
I don't even know. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. I gotta run to the store though. I just came up here to tell you that.
All right.
All right.
All right, we can go ahead and get started. We can go ahead and get started. Hold on for a sec. Let me get everything organized. Get my funny juices going. Oop, didn't mean to do that. What's up with your family? It's your boy, the one and only Brenda's baby, Remiel Ma'at. You are now tuned in to Ma'at TV. Most of y'all already know the routine, but if you don't, remember to hit that like button as you come in. But most importantly, share this video because it's all about the message, right? If you're new to the channel, this is your first time stopping by, rocking with your boy, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, but do yourself a favor and hit that notification bell and make sure it's on all so you can be alerted and notified whenever I drop this heat. All right, family, the moment has arrived. Special rest in peace to the wisest man I ever knew, my good brother Quan Lewis. I know you watching over me, King. You'll never be forgotten and you'll always be missed. Peace in paradise. Quan Lewis. Special rest in peace to my little cousin, Grant Brown. You'll always be missed and you'll never, ever be forgotten, bro. I love you and I miss you. Peace in paradise. What's up, family? You already know why y'all here. I know it's a weird time for me to go live and everybody at work, they can catch the replay. Today we're gonna switch gears a little bit because Young Pharaoh's getting boring. It's getting really boring. It's like repeating the same shit over and over again. You know, I do get a lot of comments in my joint talking about something I'm obsessed with him and blah blah blah. Or do videos on him. So we're gonna switch gears a little bit because I'm not even gonna lie, I am getting a little bit tired of this song and dance. Also, if you haven't seen my short that I issued, I think it was Monday. No, it was Tuesday. To Young Pharaoh because I'm getting tired of motherfuckers. This is the last time motherfuckers gonna jump in my comment section talking about I won't say this shit to this man's face. I dropped the short. I issued this challenge a year ago. So now I'm reissuing it. To all you Young Pharaoh minions, if you're seeing this, you can tag him, go on my page. The short it will be right at the top. Tag him in it and let him know the black community. You said you wanted to war with the black community. The black community has a representative, me, named Remy El Ma'at, me, that's willing to whoop your motherfucking ass. And we ain't going not Muay Thai. I'm talking about all out mixed martial arts. We can still be in the octagon, but all out mixed martial arts. That means I can use jujitsu, whatever fighting style I want. Challenge issued. 1,000 people saw it. And I know this bitch nigga saw it because I tagged him in it. So to all you Young Pharaoh motherfuckers that always coming over here talking that goofy shit, I issued the challenge. I tagged him in it. No response. Your homie's a bitch. Stop talking about I won't say it to his face because I will gladly say it to his face and then slap the shit out of him. Period. Period. So if you seeing this and you're a Young Pharaoh minion, stop jumping in my comments. The challenge has been issued. Go holler at your man and tell him. Period. All right, so he's getting boring, but like I said, he's a content cow, and you can milk him like a motherfucker. So we're gonna switch gears, but if he do something stupid, I'll be right back at it. Like right now, he's doing the news. Like is what I'm gonna pick on him for doing the news. But when he get to talking shit about the black community and making all these claims and putting out that misinformation, I'll be right back at it. But for now, we switching gears. We're going to pick on Hassan today. And there's a whole bunch of other shit we can talk about too. But today, we're going to pick on Hassan. We might have a little time for Young Pharaoh, but we're going to pick on Hassan. So, Pissy Poppy, he ain't really been dropping as many videos as he usually do. And ain't nobody really been talking about him. He really dying off. Like I really wasn't going to talk about him. I was going to try to find something else. Maybe Charleston White again, or, find a trending topic, test that out. But then, something was like, yo, go on his page and check and see if he got any, new shit. And then I come across this. Now, let me make this big so y'all can see what I see. So y'all can see what I see. Now, notice the fucked up. He try to brush baby hairs over his bald spot and make it a fade. Now, if you look at my hair, I ain't got a shape up yet, but he's trying to make it look like he got a fade like this. So he took some of his hair and brushed it to the front, but he only got just that patch of hair right there. So you got a half of a fucking fade, bro. Let that shit go. Let it go. It's not growing, bro. It's not growing. That bald spot is getting more and more visible. Whoever braids your hair is kind of a miracle worker because she's able to braid over that bald spot in the front. She's not able to, get rid of it and hide it all the way, but it's good enough. But still, bro, look at this shit. You can see where his hairline once was at. And he tried to brush the baby hair. Bro, you try to make edges. That's not even a fade, nigga. That's edges. But let's see what this nigga talking about.
The one thing that I want y'all young boys to understand out here.
This sound low. Let me check the volume. Yep, I knew it.
These streets.
Here we go. Pissy Poppy.
The one thing that I want y'all young boys to understand out here in these streets.
Okay, Pissy Poppy trying to kick knowledge to the young boys in the streets. Here we go with the bullshit. I bet you he probably saying the same shit. The same shit. I guarantee you. This nigga always trying to kick knowledge, but it's always the same shit. I guarantee you.
When you walking through these blocks and you see a nigga with his face screwed up, he hurting just like you. It ain't really that. It don't be necessary that a nigga want beef when he walking with the mean mug, but he upset with his mother. Dad ain't show up to graduation. He promised he ain't graduating the next graduation. Pain in him. Pain in him.
Okay, see, now you're projecting. So every nigga that mean mug or every nigga that's standing out in the corner in the streets is mad at their mother. Ivy Pure, peace and welcome. So every nigga that's out in the streets, if they mean mug and they mad at their mother, Mr. Switchy, peace and welcome. He's Nick would be peace and welcome, sis. He's definitely projecting. You the only nigga that's mad at their mother. You the only nigga that got mother issues. He said they mad at their mother. What the fuck is you talking about? You start off on some bullshit. Stop projecting your life on everybody else. No, let me leave this big so y'all can see this shit. I want y'all to see this shit.
The one thing that I want y'all young boys to understand out here in these streets, when you walking through these blocks and you see a nigga with his face screwed up, he hurting just like you.
Look at that shit.
It ain't really.
Hold up, man. I'm trying to listen to what he's saying. But, bro, you really walked out the house like that. You really went in the mirror, tried to brush them baby hairs down, and walked outside like that. Why ain't no? Where's your friends? You always talking about how many of us have them friends. Where the fuck are your friends at? Where's his friends at? Yes, my friends will bust on me if something wrong, but still, there's even if they busting on me about it, that's still telling me that something wrong. That's still telling me that, you know, I shouldn't wear this outfit, or I shouldn't wear these shoes, or I should maybe put a fucking hat on. Where's his friends? Nobody told him, bro, that no. Nobody, not one person bothered to go, hey, bro. That ain't it.
The one thing that I want y'all young boys to.
That's why I'm glad, you know, our brothers is the way they is. They'll bust on you in a heartbeat if something wrong.
Understand out here in these streets.
Your shoes fucked up, they busting on you. Your shirt ain't right, they busting on you.
When you walking through these blocks and you see a nigga with his face screwed up, he hurting just like you. It ain't really that. It don't be necessary that.
And then you try to fade the side. So you got a half a fade in the front and a skimmer. That ain't even a skimmer. A whole on the side. Bruh. And it go all bruh. Oh man, this nigga try to rock a genuine going bald. And look at this man's hair. Look at the texture of his hair. When you ever see two niggas get together and make a full-blown Puerto Rican? I have never seen this in my life. Seth, peace and welcome. Max, peace and welcome. Make sure y'all hitting that like button as y'all come in, family. Because that's how we get in the algorithm. It's free. I should see 10, at least 10 likes so far. Okay, we good. I'm gonna start making my because you know what I noticed? I noticed that like all the big channels, like when they first start their lives, like they'll like let people, you know, give time people time to come in the chat. They'll start their lives and they won't actually like start the show for like a half hour. But by the time they start the show, everybody's already there. That's why I try to, you know, make an intro and give people time to, you know, get in the building, but it don't be long enough. 10 minutes ain't long enough. So I'm gonna start doing what they do. So next time I go live, if y'all if you say the live start and, you know, my screen off, my camera off, and I ain't talking, I'm just letting people pile up in the building. Also, yo, I need y'all to go subscribe to my backup channel. I need y'all to subscribe to that joint. We trying to get that joint up. I had that joint just as long as this channel, and it ain't even hit 100 subscribers yet. And it got all the same videos. Whenever I go live, this joint connected. This joint is live too. Hold on, let me see. This joint only got 86 subscribers. I need y'all to go over to my backup page and subscribe. It's RMTV TV2. RMTV2. Definitely go to that joint and subscribe.
A nigga.
Look at that shit. And then your design is all fucked up. It looked like whoever did your hair just was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to just put whatever in that shit.
Want beef when he walking with the mean mug, like he upset with his mother. Dad ain't show up to graduation. He promised he ain't graduating the next graduation. Pain in him. Pain in him. Pain in him. Look like everybody got fucking. Yo, you know what's crazy in the hood, right? A lot of the time.
Wait, so you got two thick braids on the side and a design, skinny design braids at the. Wait, hold on.
Nana raised. Hold on, let me make this camera. Nana raised all the little kids in the hood.
Oh, look at that! Look at that shit. Screenshot. Hey, Nikwa, hold. Let me take me out. Nikwa, I need you to screenshot this one. Hold on. Screenshot. Nikwa, if you're still in the building, screenshot this. Look at that shit. He tried to brush little baby hairs to the front to cover up the bald spot. Oh man, we gonna look. Are y'all gonna see what I'm talking about? I'm gonna show you the video after this with his hair down, so y'all can see what I'm talking about with the bald spot. You can see it right here. There's no hair connecting the braid. It looked like the braid stopped, and then she started a new one going over the tail of the braid. With the tail of the braid, just pulled it over the bald spot and started a new braid going along the side. But it's a huge bald spot right here.
Hood. Nana raised all the little kids in the hood. Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck is you talking about? All right, let's listen to what he's saying. Let's talk to
boys to understand out here. The one thing that I want y'all young boys to understand out here in these streets, when you walking through these blocks and you see a nigga with his face screwed up, he hurting just like you. It ain't really that. It don't be necessary that a nigga want beef when he walking with the mean mug, but he upset with his mother.
What is mom got to
graduation? He promised he ain't graduating the next graduation. Pain in him. Pain in him.
He projecting his own life. He said, listen what he said, bro. I gotta get another camera so my brother could be in the room. Listen what he's saying, bro.
The one thing
look at it, this nigga, look at it,
that I want y'all young boys to understand out here in these streets. When you walking through these blocks and you see a nigga with his face screwed up, he hurting just like you.
You got a patch, right?
It ain't really that. It don't be necessary that a nigga want beef when he walking with the mean mug, but he upset with his mother. Dad ain't.
So he basically saying if you see somebody in the streets and they staring at you with the mean mug, it don't mean they necessarily mean they want beef. That part is true. But he talking about he upset with his mother because she ain't going to the graduation. Like you projecting your life on everybody else.
Up the graduation, he promised he ain't graduating the next graduation. Pain in him. Pain in him. Pain in him. Look like everybody got fucking. Yo, you know what's crazy in the hood, right? A lot of the times, Nana raised. Hold on, let me make this camera. Nana raised all the little kids in the hood. Nana raised all the little kids in the hood. Yeah. While Mama was at the party, Mama was partying. Yeah. Nana raised the kids in the hood.
Well, that's kind of true for me. My grandma raised me because my mom had me at a young age, and my grandma, was like, I'm not going to let you lose, your teenage life and your childhood but you will get a job to support the baby, but I'm not going to, take the rest of your childhood away from you. So yeah, that's true. But I feel like he's saying it to make it seem like women are just having kids and dropping them off on their mom. Because that's basically what he was saying when he was arguing with Zaza, whatever her name is.
Facts. Name is that now. So shorty ain't getting no hugs no more. Ain't no hugs coming in no more. Now it ain't nothing but hurt. You look just like your father.
He ain't around.
And he ain't around. But the crazy part about it is that everything that the mother went through, she put the kids through. So when daddy come around when a little nigga 21 years old, he get to sit up there and say, yo, you see your mother, you see how you feel about her?
Right.
That's how I feel about her too. That's why I wasn't around. So now he can sit up there, smoke a blunt with his father, or drink some Henny. Yeah. But mama, she had no choice but to pour the pain on Shorty, because Shorty had to be there to absorb everything that she went through.
Yeah, you got to take it out.
There's two sides of that sword,
so
man.
Happened to be him or her, whatever it is. That's true though, bro. Damn.
Shorty had to sit back. Yo, Shorty in the hood had to sit back, because Shorty was looking for love in all the wrong places, right? She looking for.
I ain't gonna lie, this shit is triggering me because he's kind of telling my story. You're basically telling the Brenda baby story. My mom had me young. My grandma had to raise me. And I kind of reminded my mother of my dad growing up. So we had our little, but we good, Love my mom to death. I don't think I ever told this story, but if it wasn't for my Aunt Donna, I wouldn't be here. Everybody was telling my mom to, get an abortion. And my Aunt Donna was going to give her a ride. And when they got in the car, my Aunt Donna told her, what do you want to do? Fuck everybody else. What do you want to do? Do you want to keep this baby or not? And my mom said, I want to keep this baby. And I'm here. People predicted that I would never make it. I had to watch people call my mom all types of hoes and, I found out what a broken condom, when somebody called you a broken condom, meant, because a kid in school called me a broken condom, and I didn't know what it meant because I told him my mom's age at the time, and I think I was in like fourth grade. So my mom was in her early 20s, and all their parents were like 40 and 50. You know how white folks, they had their kids when they 40 years old. I got the last laugh though, because my teacher pulled me to the side and was like, am I okay? And I was like, yeah, why? And he was like, because of what he said to you. And then he, told me what it meant. And when we got to recess, I did punch him in his face, got suspended. But I got the last laugh because in high school, all their parents were either dead or in a wheelchair when we got to graduation. My mom is still young and vibrant. But for those of you who don't know, that's why I call myself Brenda's baby, because I was born the same year that song came out and pretty much under the same circumstances, minus my mother dying, being on drugs, and my dad being her cousin. But other than that, my mom was 14, 15. My dad was well off into his 20s. He shouldn't have been with her. And he basically left her to fend for herself, with the child, if it wasn't for my grandma. You know, and I really didn't understand that my mother, who my mother was my mother, until my grandma, you know, died at 11. When I was 11. Still to this day, people ask me about my mom and you know, be like, "How's your sister?" You know, and my uncles too. They'd be like, you know, ask me, "How's your brothers?" Still to this day, they do it, and where I'm from. So, you know, I was kind of confused on who my mother was until my grandma died. Like, I kind of knew my mom was my mom, but you know, my grandma was the main figure, so that was my mom until she died. But that's why, for those of you who don't know, that's why I'm Brenda's baby. Everybody know Brenda's story, but not one person asks about what happened to that baby after Brenda, you know, died. Here I is. I survived. I'm alive and well. I'm doing good. I'm better than everybody. I beat the odds, and I'm doing better than everybody projected. Motherfuckers thought I wasn't gonna make it at all. I wasn't supposed to make it, and that's real shit. They told me I wasn't gonna make it. And I used to have to watch people call my mom all types of whores and stuff to her fucking face. You know? I can still remember what my mom was like as a teenager.
Level in all the wrong places. So every domestic violence situation that she had, her son had to live.
Like, listen to what he's saying. Like a lot of stuff that he's saying is.
The one thing that I want y'all young boys to understand out here in these streets, when you walking through these blocks and you see a nigga with his face screwed up.
And you know what's fucked up about being Brenda's baby? My dad still want my mom. Because my mom was a tomboy. She was a basketball and sports track star, and she was basically a fucking tomboy. If you look, I'm not gonna do that. But her high school picture, I thought she was her brother. She was a full tomboy, and I guess my mom saw. I guess my dad, you know, knew that she was gonna blossom. He knew that, you know, if he get her to act like a girl, she'd be bad. So my mom, light skinned, she kind of looked like Gina from Martin. A little bit. Not all the way, but she kind of do. And by the time she had my brother and got into her 20s, she started getting more girly. And I remember all these men kept trying to holler at her. And I remember her saying this all the time. Basically, she was Mike Jones and niggas. I would try to holler at you back in the day. And you know, you told me I was a tomboy, or you turned me down. But you know, a lot of niggas that and still to this day they trying to get with her, because my mom, she ain't even turned 50 yet. She's still young and vibrant.
He hurting just like you. It ain't really that. It don't be necessary that a nigga want beef when he walking with the mean mug, but he upset with his mother. Dad ain't show up to graduation. He promised he ain't graduating the next graduation.
Pain in him.
Pain in him.
Pain in him.
Look
like
at
everybody got fucking.
Yo, you know what's crazy in the hood, right? A lot of the times, Nana raised. Hold on, let me make this camera. Nana raised all the little kids in the hood. Nana raised all the little kids in the hood. Yeah. While Mama was at the party, Mama was partying. Yeah. Nana raised the kids in the hood.
That's facts.
Nana's
The only difference is my mom. By the time my mom got out of high school, she wasn't at no parties. She was either at work and at school. Work and then school.
That now. So shorty ain't getting no hugs no more. Ain't no hugs coming in no more. Now it ain't nothing but hurt. You look just like your father.
He ain't around.
And he ain't around. But the crazy part about it is that everything that the mother went through.
You know what's fucked up about my situation? I'm just one more time, and I'm gonna let the video play. Before I got, me and my mom got over our little problems that we had, I was paying for both of their mistakes. Because when my dad's mom died, my mom was there for him, and he thought that they was gonna get back together, and she turned him down, and he was getting back in my life, and when she turned him down, he found a reason to push me away again. And the fucked up part about it is, while I say I was paying for his mistakes, she used to have a lot of resentment for me because when she looked at me, she saw him. And he don't want nothing to do with me because my mom don't want him no more. That's how it was. So I was paying for their mistakes. But, now I'm cool with my dad. He in the military, so he disappears in and out. But, we cool. And, my mom, I love her to death. You can't hate somebody you share the same body with.
She put the kids through. So when daddy come around with a little nigga 21 years old, he get to sit up there and say, yo, you see your mother, you see how you feel about her?
Right.
That's how I feel about her too. That's why I wasn't around. So now he can sit up there, smoke a blunt with his father, or drink some Henny. Yeah. But mama, she had no choice but to pour the pain on Shorty, because Shorty had.
But yeah, you do got that pain all the way
so
around.
Now he can sit up there, smoke a blunt with his father, or drink some Henny. Yeah.
This nigga think he's Sean Paul. This nigga think he's Sean Paul. This nigga got a hot dog in the back of his neck. He got that hot dog neck.
Mama, she had no choice but to pour the pain on Shorty, because Shorty had to be there to absorb everything that she went through.
Yeah, you got to take it out.
There's two sides of that sword,
so
man.
Happened to be him or her, whatever it is. That's true though, bro. Damn.
Shorty had to sit back.
At it like
Yo, Shorty in the hood had to sit back, because Shorty was looking for love in all the wrong places, right? She looking for love in all the wrong places. So every domestic violence situation that she had, her son had to live through.
Felt that.
Every time a nigga smacked his mother,
she probably smacked him.
She smacked him.
He smacked every time a nigga smacked his mother. What? What a black? Yeah, you definitely projecting on everybody, because ain't no nigga smacking his mother. And me and my mother used to go at it. And not one time did I ever smack my mother. Now I would never even hit my mother. Never ever. And me and my mother had hatred for each other at one point. And I would never raise my hand to my mother. So where's he getting that from? I have never met a black person, a black man in my life that has raised his hand to his mother. Now, all the black men in the in the chat, have you ever raised your hand to your mother in your life? Ever in your life, raise your hand to your mother. Where's he getting this shit from?
Every time a nigga smacked his mother,
she probably smacked him.
She smacked him. Go in your room, mind your business. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Facts. Now Shorty of age, and Shorty throwing up them sets, and Shorty got a blicky on his waist, and Shorty said a nigga ain't gonna hit my mother again. And as a matter of fact, Shorty in the hood couldn't wait. I think I gotta let it go. He couldn't wait to let it go.
And there's a lot of them out here in the streets. A lot of.
Oh, he talking about the boyfriend smacking his mother.
Some went through even worse pain, because some don't even got a mother neither. What about that part?
Right.
What about that part?
No
No parents.
You know, it's crazy because the first one who messed me up with that, shout out to my boy Swelly, right? All right, you Swelly was like, yo, my dad raised me. I was like, ooh. He caught me left field with that, like, okay.
That's real.
Just to show you that some of the men out here, and y'all don't even realize, man, right now, out here practicing basketball with his son.
Yeah, my son right there.
It's fathers out here. It's men out here taking care of they children. But why is it not? Yo, why we don't make that the highlights? Where you show dudes out there that's really, really showing love to their kids. Why we ain't got enough rappers? Because all eyes is on the rappers.
Yep.
The best thing that ever happened to us and the worst thing that ever happened to us at the same time was the hip-hop game. We control that switch on what we gonna show these kids out here.
Bro, you talking in circles, bro. This shit don't make no sense. How you go from niggas standing on the block mean mugging because they mad at their mothers to rappers?
It's out here. It's men out here
You
taking care of their children.
But you sound like
But
a jackass.
why is it not? Yo, why we don't make that the highlights? Where you show dudes out there that's really, really showing love to their kids. Why we ain't got enough rappers? Because all eyes is on the rappers.
Yep.
The best thing that ever happened to us and the worst thing that ever happened to us at the same time was the hip-hop game. We control that switch on what we gonna show these kids out here, man. The hood is hurting.
The best and the worst thing that ever happened to us was the hip-hop game. I don't even know how to respond to that dumb shit.
Come through the hood and give these kids a book bag and a coat. But if they ain't getting no hugs in the house, they ain't getting no love in the house. They coming outside with a cold shoulder.
Yep. Facts.
Yo, I was looking at the kid that they had all over the news that shot the police in Queens. I said, damn, Shorty ain't have a haircut, but he had a Glock.
Yep.
And I thought about it. I said, yo, I looked at Shorty's face. I said, that little nigga hurt.
He was going through it, bro. Like to do something like that, you gotta be going through it, bro. And he just released it on the wrong people.
This ain't no shot at the police. But I'm gonna say this, right? The same way y'all took Shorty to McDonald's after he shot the church up, fulfilling the obligations for the Ku Klux Klan. I recognize that little boy that shot that police. He was scared. He was angry. He was upset. He ain't had no hugs. He ain't have no mother and father. And all of the police came out to make sure he went to jail and went to court just to stand by that officer. But not one of them officers sat up there and thought like, yo, I didn't have my father. Let me talk to Shorty. Right. Can we get him some counseling? Can we get him a town cut after a time? Can we get him a time cut? Can we get him? Can we get him some McDonald's? Can we get him some counseling? Could he apologize to that officer for the pain that dumped on us in the hood?
Wait, what? Hold on. Hold on.
Recognize.
How fuck did we get
fulfilling the way y'all took? This ain't no gotta be.
Listen to how where this shit go. It goes from in the streets to rappers to now. What? Hold on, bro. You can't even follow this shit. What's the message? Can anybody tell me what was his message in all this shit? It's like a ghetto word salad. Yeah, it sound good because he's like charismatic when he got charisma when he talk. So he makes it sound good, but if you really listen to what he's saying, he's not saying nothing.
The one thing that I want y'all young boys to understand out here in these streets, when you walking through these blocks and you see a nigga with his face screwed up, he hurting just like you. It ain't really that. It don't be necessary that a nigga.
All right, so now we walking in the streets, nigga screwed up, face screwed up. Okay.
Want beef when he walking with the beam up, like he upset with his mother. Dad ain't show up to graduation. He promised he ain't graduating the next graduation.
So a nigga walking down the street, nigga mean mugging. I guess the message is everybody that's me mugging, they mad at their mothers or they got pain in them from what's going on in their life. Is that the message?
Pain in them. Look, like everybody got fucking. Yo, you know what's crazy in the hood, right? A lot of the times, Nana raised. Hold on, let me make this camp. Nana raised all the little kids in the hood. Nana raised all the little kids in the hood. Yeah. While Mama was at the party, Mama was partying. Yeah.
Now we had Nana raising the hood, and the kid. Nana raised all the kids in the hood. He's jumping to the next subject before he even makes a valid point on the first subject. It's like he's leading you to the climax of his message, and before you get to the climax and figure out what the actual message is, he somehow transition to a new subject. You're not saying nothing. You're just talking in circles. So y'all decide to stand in the middle of a basketball court, and this is what y'all talked about. He out there with his son, and this is what you decide to talk about.
Nana raised the kids.
You look like he's not even interested in the conversation because he's only giving them one-worded answers.
Nana's dead now. So Shorty ain't getting no hugs no more. Ain't no hugs coming in no more. Now it ain't nothing but hurt. You look just like your father.
He ain't around.
And he ain't around. But the crazy part about it is that everything that the mother went through.
So now you beefing with your mother.
She put the kids through. So when daddy come around when the little nigga 21 years old, he get to sit up there and say, yo, you see your mother, you see how you feel about her? Right. That's how I feel about her too. That's why I wasn't around. So now he can sit up there and smoke a blunt with his father or drink some Henny. Yeah. Well, mama, she had no choice but to pour the pain on Shorty because Shorty had to be there to absorb everything that she went through. Yeah, you got to check it out. There's two sides of that sword, man. Happened to be him or her. That's true though, bro. Damn. Shorty had to sit back. Yo, Shorty in the hood had to sit back. You know,
it's two sides of what sword? What the fuck? Two sides of what sword? What two sides of what sword? You have to make a valid point before you say there's two sides of that sword. What the fuck?
No, because Shorty was looking for love in all the wrong places, right? She looking for love in all the wrong places. So every domestic violence situation that she had, her son had to live through. Every time a nigga smacked his mother, she probably smacked her.
Oh, so
she smacked him. Go in your room, mind your business. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Now Shorty of age, and Shorty throwing up them sets, and Shorty got a blicky on his waist, and Shorty said a nigga ain't gonna hit my mother again. And as a matter of fact, Shorty in the hood couldn't wait. I think I gotta let it go. He couldn't wait to let it go.
And there's a lot of them out here in the streets. A lot of people with that type of pain, and some went through even worse pain because some don't even got a mother neither. What about that part?
Right.
What about that part? No parents.
You know it's crazy because the first one who messed me up with that. So shout out to my boy Swelly, right? All right, you Swelly was like, yo, my dad raised me. I was like, ooh. He caught me left field with that. Like, okay. Just to show you that some of the men out here, and y'all don't even realize, man, right now, out here practicing basketball with his son.
Yeah, my son. Right
there. Hey, where's your son? He out there practicing with his son. You got 11 kids. Where your kids at? You at a playground. Where the fuck your kids at?
Taking care, they children. But why is it not? Yo, why we don't make that the highlights? Where you show dudes out there that's really, really showing love to their kids. Why we ain't got enough rappers? Because all eyes is on the rappers. Yeah? The best thing that ever happened to us and the worst thing that ever happened to us at the same time was the hip-hop game. We control that switch on what we gonna show these kids out here, man. The hood is hurting. You could come through the hood and give these kids a book bag and a coat, but if they ain't getting no hugs in the house, they ain't getting no love in the house, they coming outside with a cold shoulder. Yep. Facts. Yo, I was looking at the kid that they had all over the news that shot the police in Queens. I said, damn, Shorty ain't have a haircut, but he had a Glock. Yep. And I thought about it. I said, yo, I looked at Shorty's face. I said that little nigga hurt me.
He's going through it, bro. Like do something like that, you gotta be going through it, bro. He just released it on the wrong.
This ain't no shot at the police. Well, I'm gonna say this, right? The same way y'all took Shorty to McDonald's after he shot the church up, fulfilling the obligations for the Ku Klux Klan. I recognize that little boy that shot that police. He was scared. He was angry. He was upset. He ain't had no hugs. He ain't have no mother and father. And all of the police came out to make sure he went to jail and went to court just to stand by that officer. But not one of them officers sat up there and thought like, yo, I didn't have my father. Let me talk to Shorty. Can we get him some counseling? Can we get him a town cut after a town? Can we get him a time cut? Can we get him? Can we get him some McDonald's? Can we get him some counseling? Could he?
Wait. Is he talking about a murderer that killed for the Klan?
Took a whole life talking about someone. Let me go ahead and get that nigga a fucking
Happy Meal.
Nigga, you tripping.
Bro.
You might be lucky if you get a happy deal, nigga. They might make life sound better for you.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Did you just say a person that killed for the Klan? Hold up. I'm trying to make sense of this.
The same way y'all took Shorty to McDonald's after he shot the church up, fulfilling the haircut, but he had a Glock.
Yep.
And I thought about it. I said, yo, I looked at Shorty's face. I said, that little nigga hurt me.
He's going through it, bro.
I think you're talking about
to do something like that, you gotta be going through it, bro. And he just released it
listen,
on the wrong.
This ain't no shot at the police. Well, I'm gonna say this, right? The same way y'all took Shorty to McDonald's after he shot the church up, fulfilling the obligations for the Ku Klux Klan. I recognize that little boy that shot that police. He was scared. He was angry. He was upset. He had no heart. He didn't have no mother and father.
Oh, he talking about the boy that shot the police. But you did a video on that, and you didn't talk about him this way. You called him an idiot. You said I forgot what exactly he called him, but you didn't talk about him this way. You didn't say he needed to be talked to. You ain't say none of that shit. You was like, oh, this fucking idiot shot a cop and blase blah.
All of the police came out to make sure he went to jail and went to court just to stand by that officer. But not one of the officers thought like, yo, I didn't have my father. Let me talk to Shorty. Can we get him some counseling? Can we get him a town cut after a town? Can we get him a time cut? Can we get him? Can we get him some McDonald's? Can we get him some counseling?
Bro,
could he apologize?
You know how policemen work? They see each other as brothers. You kill a cop, they not gonna want to give you no fucking McDonald's, nigga. You lucky they didn't try to kill him. What are you talking about?
That was dumped on us in the hood. Nah, we don't get that. Shorty gonna get 20 years in jail if he lucky.
If he lucky. Beat him after that.
Shorty went in jail, a baby. When he come out, he gonna have gray hairs. Welcome to the hood. This is what the hood do.
That's what happens out here, bro.
How did we get here? How did we get from walking down the street,
strategic? Trust me, it's a lot of pain. I know you see me here, I'm shining, I'm out here. I'm going through pain too. We all go through it. We all go through it. Just because we looking good don't mean it ain't hurting inside of us. That's why you gotta watch.
I get the message is pain, but
you never know what somebody going through. You don't want that pain.
It was a bad setup.
Trust me.
You know what we need to we need more up in the hood. When you see another nigga hurting just like you, smile at him.
Yep.
Ask him how was his day, man. Tell that nigga he not alone. Facts. You feel his pain.
So every time I dap my peoples up, I always tell them, yo, good to see you, bro. For real. You know what I mean? Like, everything all right? Better than just, what up, bro? Like, I ain't one of them niggas. But it's love, real love, or it's not. That's it. Simple.
The hood is hurting. The same nigga that you beefing with, he hurting inside just like you. Just remember that before you pull that blicky. Facts.
You just remember that before you start talking shit about people on the fucking internet, nigga. You was just talking about killing Jay Prince and fuck his mom and bro. These niggas is ass backwards. I understand people switch gears and, you know, change what they talk about and do different things on the internet, but you're not supposed to contradict yourself. You feel me? You're not supposed to be one way and then your next video you got a whole different stance. You feel me? You got a whole different ideology. You're confusing, especially if you trying to be a teacher. You know, you trying to be somebody that's trying to spread a message. You're not spreading no message. You know, if Hassan Campbell didn't, you know, claim that he was like some, he claims he's a tribal leader, and you know, he like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. That's what he think he is. He said he did something that Malcolm X didn't do. What the fuck did you do that Malcolm X didn't do? And would nobody come out to see you for a lecture? If you wanted to start doing lectures and shit and speeches and shit, would nobody pay to see Hassan Campbell? Yeah, you got a lot of people on the internet that watch you on the internet, but that's free. Ain't nobody gonna pay to watch this shit. And majority of the people there, they there to watch the fuckery. They not there for the, you know, for you to give a message. They there for the fuckery. He ain't never do nothing. He said he did what Malcolm X couldn't do. Oh yeah, he definitely did what dude. He did do something that Malcolm X didn't do. He was fucking with Bambaataa. He was fucking with men. Yep, definitely. He gave that ass up. Malcolm wouldn't get that. Malcolm was a gangster. If you watch the movie, Malcolm was a stone cold gangster. A real gangster.
It is what it is, man. Pay attention to your circle before they hurt you, because they smile in your face all the while they want to take your place. The backstabbers. Hello. We out. Hey, yo, OP, man. We don't call the math. Give them some pain.
I got you. I said back against the wall. Nobody to call. Kids doing okay, but you know they need more. And your baby mom's telling everybody your flaws. Trust me, that shit can hurt you for sure. Have you sitting in your room, stressing for the past few hours, counting up your last few dollars. You put that work in, but they don't want to give you your flowers. Got you drinking out the bottle and inhaling them flowers. Franklin and Ghost, when you cooking that powder, gotta make that snow fall just to get you some power. Nobody never want to help the nigga that's losing, but they all gonna double back when they see that you moving. I took risks.
I mean, he is spending some real shit, but it's elementary. There's no creativity in it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's no space. The bars ain't spaced out enough. Yeah. That's same thing with Young Pharaoh. Your bars ain't spaced out enough. Your rhymes is too close together, and then most of the time you're not rhyming. But let's look at this shit. I know we probably. I think we watched this already, but I wanted y'all to see the bald spot that I've been talking about. Why his hair is out. Now you can see it. Now you can see the bald spot. Let me make this big again. Now you can actually see what I'm talking about. When he had the braid, what he did was the braid stopped right here, and they took the tail of the braid and swooped it over and connected it to another one. That way the bald spot was covered a little bit. But bro, that shit gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Cut that shit off, bro. Just let it go.
Yeah, shout out to you, bro. Always keeping it real, you know.
But you mad. He's gonna throw it all away.
Oh, he talking about John Morant. But I just wanted to see y'all to see that ball spot. But that's all the time I got. I'm gonna get on out of here. I wasn't planning on doing a long live today. We're gonna do a whole live tomorrow because I got some shit planned for tomorrow. So wasn't planning on going long today. Shout out to the chat and a little bit of people that was here. I know everybody at work. You know, they can other people can catch the replay. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that stopped by. Like I said, we live streamers, y'all who make these lives lit. I gotta get on out of here and get some sleep for work. It's your boy, the one and only Brenda's baby, Remiel Ma'at. You were just tuned in to Ma'at TV. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Until then.
You better be careful, little buddy.